focus on one piece of the big picture, specifically Camp Blanding and what it did. We've been fortunate to have, in the past few years, contact with a lot of former veterans who trained here, and they've been able to provide us with a lot of photographs, maps, other items that relate specifically back to Camp Blanding and what went on here. When you look at the picture of all of that, Camp Blanding trained somewhere between 800 and 900,000 troops for the war. It was about the second or third largest infantry training bases in the United States. So, I think that's a pretty big story, a pretty interesting story, and something that we're trying to tell here and keep alive. We cover about 18 acres, and we've got a section behind the museum here that's specific to World War II. So you'll see a lot of the vehicles and artillery pieces, as well as monuments to a lot of the units that trained here. Across the street in front of the museum, we've got a section dedicated to Vietnam. And then next to that, we've got an area for Desert Storm. So we've got some captured Iraqi equipment that came back from Desert Storm. Jokingly, folks come out and say, man, you guys are out in the middle of nowhere. Well, if you think we're in the middle of nowhere now, you should have been here back then. And it really was in the middle of nowhere. But, Camp Blanding has a very unique history. Most people didn't realize we had 1,200 German prisoners of war housed here during the war. And then just the number of troops that were trained here. Somebody that's trying to do military history research, they could come here, make arrangements, and they could sit down in our library and our archives and look at photographs and copies of orders and those kind of things. If you're into history in general and specifically military history, it's just a neat place to visit. We try to make it an interesting experience. Some of the weapons are available. If you want to hold it and take a picture with it, you can do that. We have a set of helmets out for kids to try on and take pictures with. We want you to leave here going, wow, this is a pretty neat place, and we want to come back. So if you're here in Clay County visiting, I invite you to come out and visit the Camp Blanding Museum. We're open every day, noon to 4. There's no charge for the museum. You're welcome to walk through, and I think you'll find it's a unique experience, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So please come visit us.